Hi, welcome to my channel. It's been a while. How are you doing? It's been a long time. So today I want to show you how I made this beautiful jumpsuit that you're seeing on your screen. If this is something that you want to learn, please click on the subscribe button and like this video. Drop a lovely comment in the comment section and don't forget to share this video with your friends. So without wasting much of our time, let's get right into the video. I really love this jumpsuit. I love the fact that it's fit on me, and I actually used 3 yards of fabric to make this jumpsuit, though I still have some pieces left. So let's get right into the video. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to add to the length of your paper, or if you decide to cut on your fabric, still better. But the reason I use pattern paper is because I wanted it to be a bit more clearer. So I would advise you use one pattern paper for one side instead of following this method. I just wanted to manage this pattern paper because I don't really have enough pattern paper currently. So first thing first, you're going to divide your thigh into 2, which is, for me, my thigh is 26 divided by 2, you have 13. So on your pattern paper, you're going to mark 8. For me, I actually use one pattern paper for both sides, okay, though it was not enough, which I'm going to show you how I did it. So now I marked front and back. Okay, this other side is front, this particular side is back. So you're going to go ahead and just measure your own. So the next thing you are going to do, so we are going to go ahead and divide our measurement into 4. So I'm going to show you the measurement you are going to divide by 4 and the measurement you are going to divide by 3. So your waist, you are going to divide your waist by 4. You're going to divide your hip by 4, just like what you're seeing on the screen. To get your crotch length, you are going to divide your hip by 3. So whatever you have, that is going to be the length of your crotch. Now your knee, you are going to go ahead and divide it by 4, and then your trouser length. So these are the few measurements you'll be using to draft this pattern paper. So next thing, you're going to place your tape rule just like this and get the length of your crotch. For me, my crotch length is 13.6, and the reason I use 13.6 actually is because it's jumpsuit. On if I'm sewing only trouser and I don't want it to be up like high to my waist level, sometimes I use 13 inches, and then I can use 12.5 and it will work. But because it's jumpsuit, you're going to add to your waist level, you have to use the exact measurement. So next thing, you're going to draw the line just like you see me doing. So this particular line, that is your waistline, and next thing, you're going to go ahead and measure your hip length. So to get your hip length from your waistline downward, you're going to mark 8 inches, right? So if you are very tall, you can use 8.5. So I'm just mark that line and draw the line as well. So after drawing the line, you're going to label it hip so that you know that this is your hip length. Okay, so next thing is for you to divide your hip measurement into 4, and then you are going to mark it on the line. So what I was doing here is to just divide the pattern paper into 2, but since you are using one pattern paper, there is no need for you. You're just going to use a full pattern paper and then add to it. So like I said, I've gone ahead to add this pattern paper, so I've added to the front and the back, and the front is smaller than the back. Okay, so on the hip line, you're going to divide your hip measurement into 4 and then mark it. Place your tape rule just like what you see me on the screen, mark it there, and then take the same measurement up to your waist measurement. Like your hip measurement, you're going to take it, whatever you have, place it and mark it on your waistline. Okay, so after marking it, you're going to go ahead and connect the waist and the hip line together, just like what you're going to be seeing on the screen. And then when you are done, you're going to place your tape rule from the waistline. Okay, let me use the marker to make it more clear. So you're going to divide your waist measurement into 4, just like this, from this center front, and then mark it. So because it's a shirt and it's a shirt, it doesn't have to be too tight. So you're going to add 4 inches to your measurement. So if your waist measurement is 30, you're going to add 4 inches to it and divide it by 4. So whatever you have, that's what you're going to mark on the waist level, right? Because based on the jumpsuit, it doesn't have to be too tight because there is belt. So that's basically it, and then you are going to go ahead and mark the new line. So after that, you are going to connect the dart, the remaining one as the dart. Okay, I'm sorry, I was actually doing this thing in the night and I didn't use my lead so just bear with me. So next thing is to go to your hip. We've already taken the hip measurement. So for example, on this crotch line, this is where you're going to take your thigh measurement. Like I said, for me, my thigh measurement is 26. You are going to divide it by 2. I don't know what, just take your own measurement and then mark it on that line. So next thing you are going to do, the thing is, if you come up by 1 inch, it's going to be too tight. The jumpsuit will not fit very well. So this is what I do when it comes to jumpsuit. I prefer connecting it like this to the hip measurement, okay, so that if you follow this method, you won't have any issues sewing your jumpsuit. But if it's a trouser, you can go up by 1.5 or 2 inches from the crotch length upward, right? And then let's move on to the knee length. You're going to measure your knee length and then take your measurement. So on the crotch length, you're going to divide whatever measurement you have here. You're going to divide it into 2 and take it downward and draw the line. So this is my knee length, just like I said. So, and next thing, on that knee length, you're going to divide your knee measurement, knee circumference into 4. So whatever you have, you are going to divide it by 4 and mark one here and mark the other side here. Let's say 16. You're going, if you divide it by 4, you have 4 inches, right? So you mark 4 here and mark 4 there. So for me, actually, I didn't use my exact knee because mine is 16. I actually use 18. So that's basically it. So whatever you have on the knee length, you are going to take it to the length of your trouser, and then you're going to go ahead and connect it from your knee length down to your crotch like this. I mean up to your crotch, and then you're going to connect it to your crotch on this other side. Okay, so when you are done like this, go ahead and cut it out just like you see me doing on the screen. So on this other side, you are going to connect this to the hip length just like what you see me doing. Please go ahead and do it. Okay, in my next video I'll try and use the LED light for it to be more clearer. Okay, so now that we are done, we are going to go ahead and cut it out. On a norm, we are supposed to leave space for sewing allowance because I intend on using 1 inch now for my trousers. I don't want to be using half, but because the paper was not enough, so I'm going to add to the fabric. That's why I label it add 1 inch, and on this side you're going to add half an inch. Okay, so next thing is to go ahead and cut the back. We are done with the front. So for the back, we are going to go ahead. The back is always more than the front. You can see I've taken the paper a little bit upward. So on the crotch length, you're going to go out by 3 inches. This works for everybody. You can use 3 inches or 3.5, it's fine. Then on the hip line, you are going to go ahead and add like 2 inches to it, you know, because of your butt. Okay, and on the waist level, you are not adding any measurement because you want the front and the back to align. Okay, so we are just going to connect it to the waist level like this, and it's going to align. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and put paper under for it to align. But when it comes to jumpsuits, as I was saying, make sure the waist align. There shouldn't be any extra inches for the waist. Okay, it's just like you sewing a dress. So on the back, I want to put that. Remember, for the front, on the front I didn't put that. I don't like that in front, so I'm going to add 1.5 as my dart intake, and I'm going to just cut it out just like this. So basically we are done cutting, we are almost done, like almost done cutting, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the excess just like what you're seeing on the screen. Okay, so from the crotch line downward, you know, the crotch we use 3 inches. So from the crotch line downward, you are going to use 2 inches. So this is the pattern I said the paper I said I'm going to put under, just for you to align. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and gum it and then reshape it for you to see. But since you're going to use a full pattern paper, just go ahead and do your own. Okay, I'm sorry guys, I'm not supposed to put you through this stress. I just wanted, it's been a long time I uploaded a video, so I just wanted to do something, and I pray that you guys understand what I'm doing. You can see that I actually made everything to align. The front waist align with the back waist. Okay, so now that we are done with this one, we are going to go ahead and put our dart measurement. For me, my bust span is 8 inches. 8 inches divided by 2, you have 4. So instead of using that 4, I use 3 inches from the center down. I used 3.5, and then from that 3.5 I initiated my dart measurement, which is 1.5, and that is what I'm doing. So coming down to the crotch length downward, you are going to use 2 inches all the way. So just like the way we did on the front, you're going to get the midpoint of your pants. So this is the front that I'm cutting. You are going to get the midpoint, and then you are going to slash to almost your waist. Okay, so you have to slash it to your waist so that it will relax properly, and then you're going to spread it like this. You can actually do it without using pattern paper. Okay, like I said, I just wanted it to be a bit clearer. That's when I use pattern paper, because if I was cutting on the fabric directly, I don't think you'll be able to get what I'm saying. So the width or the gap between that is 4.5. That's actually what I use. So if you want your own to be a bit wider, you can add to it, and then you are going to go ahead and shape it. Measure the length of your trouser. For me, my length is 42, and I added 2 inches to it, making 44. So I'm also adding 1 inch on this side, and on this side I'm adding half an inch. Okay, so like I said, this side is 1 inch, this other side is the lap side is half an inch. So I've gone ahead to do it. Now this is the back pattern. We are going to go ahead and do the same thing. So we are going to go ahead and divide the width of that crotch length. So whatever you have, divide it by 2, and then you are going to take the same measurement all the way down. Okay, please don't be confused about that line. Just maintain your own pattern paper. Divide the measurement all the way down, and then go ahead and slit it. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and mark the line just like what you're seeing on the screen. Just like the way we slash the front, we are going to go ahead and slash the back just like what you're seeing on the screen. Please note, the wider you spread this thing, the more fullness you have. So I didn't just want it to be too full like that, 3 yards. I just wanted to manage it. So basically I use, for the gap there, I use 4.5, just like the way we use for the front. Okay, so next thing is to go ahead and include this side measurement. Sorry for the stress, I know you're not going to pass through this on your own pattern paper. Okay, like I said, the gap here is 4.5, and then the crotch length that within the paper was not enough to take it downward, so I'm going to go ahead and maintain the same 2 inches that I said all the way down. So when I'm done with this, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So go ahead and just cut your own out, since you've already slashed your pattern paper. Okay, so make sure you shape the down part properly, just like the way you see me doing, and make sure you also add half an inch on this side, the lap side that I am, and this side you're going to add 1 inch. The center you're going to add half an inch, and also on the joining you're going to add half an inch. So this is the upper part, which is the shirt. To cut your shirt, you are going to mark 2.5 on your pattern paper, and if you are cutting on your fabric directly, you're going to fold your fabric into 2 and mark 2.5. But when you open your fabric, total of what you're going to get, you're going to have 5 inches, and then you're going to slit it. But since it's a pattern paper, you are just going to mark 2.5 and then draw the line. So from here downward, you are going to mark your half length measurement, and next thing is to highlight that placket. See, that is the placket that I'm holding, like your buttonhole space, that's what I mean. So I'll just go ahead and label it placket. Okay, now from that point that we mark the line, you're going to go ahead and divide your shoulder measurement into two. For me, my shoulder is 15, so I'll come down to get my shoulder slant. You're going to come down by 1 inch, and to get the neckline, I'll just use 2.5 because the fabric is stretchy and I knew that it's still going to expand. To get the neck depth, I'll use the same 2.5, and then I'll go ahead and connect the neckline just like what you're seeing on the screen. So go ahead and do the same thing. So like this, you're going to go ahead and mark your shoulder slant, and then you're going to come down by 1/2 inch for your shoulder joining. You can actually do this on your fabric directly. Okay, so the total of what we use is for the shoulder slant is 1.5. okay, is 1.5. Okay, so next thing is to place your tape roll on the neck and mark your bust point, and then there's no under bust here, just mark your half length. So to get your across chest measurement, okay, you're going to divide your bust measurement into 6 and add 1.5. So whatever you have after dividing into 6, add 1.5 to it, and that will be the length of your armhole. Okay, so that's what we call across chest. So whatever you have, you're going to go ahead and mark it and connect the line. So the next thing you're going to do, you're going to bring down your shoulder measurement on that across chest, and then you're going to go ahead and connect the line straight, like from your shoulder down to your across chest. So because it is shirt and it's not meant to be fitted, we are going to add extra inches to our measurement, just like the way we did for the front. So for your bust, you're going to add extra 4 inches to your bust measurement and divide whatever you have, you're going to divide it by 4. All right, for example, my bust is 37, so you're going to add 37 plus 4, you have 41. That 41 is what you're going to divide by 4, right? So on your waist level as well, you're going to add, for example, my waist is 34 or 35, I can't even remember. And so you're going to add 4 inches to it, making, if it's 34, you're going to add 4 inches to it and divide it by 4. Okay, whatever you have, that is what you are going to use. All right, so basically that's what we are going to do. I hope this is clear. So let's get right into the video. So after getting all your measurements, you are going to take your bust measurement on the across chest line. If your bust is 10 inches, you are going to mark it there. On the bust point, you are going to mark the same measurement there, just like now. The distance from your bust to that line, that shoulder line, you're going to divide it by 4, and now the distance from your shoulder down to your across chest, you're going to get the midpoint, okay, and then mark it. So you're going to go in by 0.5 on that midpoint line, and then you're going to connect the dotted lines together, just like what you're seeing on the screen. Please, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to don't forget to subscribe, and drop a lovely comment in the comment section for me. Let me see. All right, so on your waistline, you are going to go ahead and divide your waist measurement just like the way we did, okay, and then mark it. So I was just trying to show you what to do here. So this is basically what you're going to do after getting your measurement. All right, you're going to go ahead and place the measurement there. All right, so for me, my waist is 34 plus 4, you have 38 divided by 4, you have 9 point something, right? So after that, you're going to go ahead and connect the line just like that. So next thing is for you to go ahead and add your seam allowance. So I've decided to be using 1.5 instead of 1, so I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So when you're cutting the neckline, you have to fold your placket inside before cutting your neckline, just like what you're seeing on the screen. So you fold your pocket and then cut the neckline. So next thing is just for us to place the same pattern paper to cut the back. Now the difference between the back and the front is the armhole side. So just like this, the armhole on the back it has to be more. All right, you don't have to cut the exact thing. If you've been cutting the exact measurement, please don't do it again. So on the armhole, now remember, for the front we use the distance between the across chest and the bust measurement divided by 4. For the back, we divide it by 2, and then you are going to go ahead and mark it. Looking at it, you see that the back is automatically more than the front if you use the exact measurement I just told you. And then you are going to connect it to align. Because it is sleeveless, I didn't just want it to be more, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So next thing is to move on to the neckline. So for the back neckline, we are going to come down by 1 inch. You know, it's a shirt collar, so you're just going to go ahead and come down by 1 inch and connect the line just like what you're seeing on the screen. So go ahead and do the same thing. So the next thing is to go ahead and cut it out. So go ahead and cut yours out. So the next thing I did was to remove 1/2 inch from the waistline. I'm still going to show you. This is the front and this is the back. So on the back line, you're going to remove 1/2 inch or 0.7 for the back to, in order for the back to relax. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead and cut it out. Connect it, and then you're going to go ahead and cut it out. So just like what you're seeing on the screen, go ahead and do the same thing. So the next thing is to go ahead and cut out the pattern paper. For the back, I had to join because the way the pattern was, I just needed to join. So I'm just going to join the back pattern. And for the front, I've also gone ahead to cut the front pattern paper as well. So this is it. So I'll just show you how to fold your placket the way I did mine. So you're going to go ahead and take your pattern paper. If you're using pattern paper, notch the line that we drawn, and then you're going to fold the first 1/2 inch that you're going to do. You're going to fold it. Okay, you're going to fold it just like what you're seeing on the screen. That is 1/2 inch. And then when you are done folding this one, you're going to fold like extra 1 inch. So the extra 1 inch, you're going to meet on that line. Okay, remember we use 2.5, so that is when we use 2.5. After folding the 1/2 inch, just like what you're seeing on the screen, we are going to fold 1 inch. So the width of our placket is going to be 1 inch. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so just like this, you folded the exact 2.5 that you measured. So I'm just going to turn it for you to see, and then you're going to go ahead and sew it so you can see where the line is, exactly the 2.5 that we folded. So now that we are done, you can now go ahead and cut out the neckline. This is the reason I said you should fold the placket inside. So we are done cutting the neckline like this, and basically we are done. Okay, so next thing is to go ahead and cut the facing. So I've gone ahead to cut the facing. So the length of the facing that I cut is 6.5. So after folding off, I'm going to get 6 inches exactly, and the 6 inches is okay. Go ahead and do the same thing. So when you are done cutting your fabric, you are going to use your iron to fold the 1/2 inch in, just like what you are seeing on the screen. So this is a trouser. My baby was disturbing me, so I just had to fix the pocket without showing you guys, but I'm sorry. Right, so after fixing the pocket, you're going to go ahead and sew the back dart. So actually the that is very easy. Okay, so after that, you're going to go ahead and sew the center pant, and then you're going to go ahead and sew the 1 inch that we added. The inner lap, you're going to sew the 1/2 inch that we added. Okay, that's the importance of using pattern paper, because I've already explained all these things. So now I've gone ahead to sew the placket. This is what I'm showing you, and then you're going to lap each other like this, and then after that, you're going to sew the waist level, join it. Okay, next thing, you're going to go ahead and iron your back properly. The facing, this is the facing. I'll just go ahead and place it. First thing, you're going to sew the neckline. You're not turning it, you're just going to brace it like that and sew, and then you're going to go ahead. I just wanted to use this pin for you guys to see. You just sew it round, and then when you are done sewing, you are not going to sew the facing, all right, down. So when you are done, so you are going to join your shoulder like this. You are going to use the facing. When you join your shoulder, the front and the back together, you are going to turn the facing to sew it. And basically when you are done, it should look like this. So when you are done with this, you're going to go ahead and then sew the facing down. With this way, you'll be able to turn the facing. Okay, and I also noticed the shoulder line was more. I had to trim it off for it to align, so I'll just sew the facing down exactly like this. That is after turning the shoulder line. Okay, so when you are done with this one, you're going to go ahead and use your, you can use bias to turn the armhole, or you can use the piece. For me, I decided to use the piece because at this point I didn't have black or green bias, so I decided to use this piece and it came out perfectly well. You can as well do the same thing, and that's it. Okay, so the next thing you are going to do is you are going to join the side together. All right, so now that you are done joining the side, this is the upper part and the lower line, this is the trouser and the top. You are going to join the placket together, and then you are going to join the back. You are going to start from the back like this, notch the back, and then you are going to sew it to this side. You can see the waist aligned, the trouser waist aligned with the top waist. You can see how it came out, right? Make sure your own is like that. So when you are done, it should look like this. So basically the shirt is ready. All right, so this is what I did. Next thing is going to be on how to sew the collar. At this point I had to leave this collar, so I'm going to make another video on how to cut your collar, right? So thank you so much for watching this video to this point. I'm definitely going to make another tutorial to show you how to cut collar, because this video was already getting long, and I'll just make a 3 or 4 minutes video on how to sew this collar. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, drop a lovely comment in the comment section so that you can always be the first to get notified. Bye.